What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today I am going to be revealing my 2021 NBA first round mock draft. I figured this was a good time to debut my mock just because we have reached a turning point in both the college and NBA seasons as we approach the NCAA tournament and we are in the middle of the All-Star break as well. So without further ado, let's dive right into the 2021 NBA mock draft. Okay, so in order to determine the lottery order, I ran one simulation on tankathon.com to make it more realistic, because ever since the NBA restructured its lottery odds, we have seen some crazy results. So this was just my way of adding some realistic variability to the order. Also, this mock draft is a combination of what my board looks like and what I think teams would do in their certain situations. Remember, this is March, so obviously things will change as we draw closer to the actual draft, but this should be a decent starting point as we enter the scouting season. So here we go with the first overall pick. The Orlando Magic are on the clock. With the first pick in the 2021 NBA mock draft, the Orlando Magic select CADE Cunningham. The Magic finally get some magic back in their franchise, and they take the clear #1 prospect in this draft class in Cunningham. CADE has the potential to be a heliocentric offensive threat due to his 6'8" frame and high-level skill set on the ball. If you want to learn more about him, check out the video I just made on him. With the second pick, the Wizards will take Jonathan KUMINGA, the forward from the G League Ignite team. The Wizards are in a weird spot this year with Bllen, so they go for the best player available in this scenario and take Jonathan KUMINGA. His offensive game, while still raw, has shown a lot of promise in the G League bubble, and I think Washington banks on his two-way, high-ceiling wing prototype at 2 here. With the third pick, the Atlanta Hawks select Jalen Green. Jalen Green is another one of the Ignite prospects, and Atlanta obviously has their franchise point guard in Trae Young, and their fourth overall pick from 2019 in DeAndre Hunter showed some real promise in his second year before injuring his knee. Jalen Green gives Atlanta a much-needed secondary perimeter scoring punch, and this seems like the perfect situation for him to develop, as he won't be asked to be a primary creator. He can stick to what he's good at, which is scoring the basketball. The fourth pick goes to the Sacramento Kings, and I have them taking Evan Mobley. The big man from USC is the first center off the board in this version of the mock draft. The Kings are already set in the backcourt with De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton, so Mobley gives Sacramento a versatile, high-upside center with advanced ball skills. With the fifth overall pick, the Golden State Warriors select Gonzaga point guard Jalen Suggs. The rich get richer here as Golden State takes Minnesota's pick through the D'Angelo Russell trade. The Warriors are in a best player available position here, and they don't really need anything necessarily. I have them taking Gonzaga's pick-and-roll wizard in Jalen Suggs. Right now, he should be able to be a nice third guard next to Steph and a hopefully healthy Klay Thompson. And the Warriors can also look long-term here and bank on the young core of James Wiseman and Jalen Suggs. And given those two, there are definitely worse spots to be starting from. The sixth overall pick goes to the Detroit Pistons, and I have them taking UConn guard James BOUKNIGHT. Detroit definitely has a lot of irons in the fire in terms of developmental prospects. I have them taking the electrifying James BOUKNIGHT here. He gives Detroit a pure scoring prospect to play alongside Jeremy Grant. He definitely needs to work on his playmaking and overall court vision, but I do think his floor is rather high as a volume scorer who can get his shot off at any time. That's why I have him going 6th overall to the Pistons. The 7th overall pick, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder selecting Florida State wing Scottie Barnes. Barnes gives Oklahoma City size and positional versatility. He's one of the best defenders in the draft class, and OKC will love his defensive energy and length. He needs to improve as a shooter and as a ball handler in order to get the most out of his game, but his passing vision and defense will get him on the floor early for the Oklahoma City Thunder. With the 8th overall pick in the 2021 NBA mock draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Jalen Johnson from Duke. There have been lots of questions about his time in Durham and multiple high school stops along the way, but at 8, Johnson's rare blend of size and playmaking ability is just too tantalizing to pass up for the Cavaliers. He should work out as a solid secondary creator, but he will need to buy in defensively and get a viable shot to maximize his potential. With the 9th overall pick, the New Orleans Pelicans select KEON Johnson. The combo guard from Tennessee definitely needs to develop more as a scoring threat, but it is clear that he can absolutely bring it defensively, which is what New Orleans definitely needs more of. Johnson's Marcus Smart-like game should work really well for an already exciting Pelicans bunch. With the 10th overall pick, the Thunder select Kai Jones. Oklahoma City is just in the beginning of its rebuild, and with 3 first-round picks, the Thunder swing big for defenses here and take Kai Jones at 10. The former track and field star has shown real perimeter flashes for a 6'11 guy who comes off the bench at Texas, and his potential is limitless if you give him the right development staff. With the 11th pick in the 2021 mock draft, the Indiana Pacers select ALPEREN SENGÜN. The Pacers probably have one of the most balanced starting fives in the NBA, but I do think they need more front court depth. There aren't a whole lot of big men in this class that I would take in this range, but I do think ALPEREN SENGÜN from Besiktas is definitely a player worth reaching for if you're Indiana. At 12, the Chicago Bulls select Corey Kispert. I have Kispert going to the Bulls here as a high floor option for them. The Gonzaga star is putting together one of the most prolific shooting seasons in recent college basketball memory, and he even flirted with a 60-50-90 season for much of the year. He'll be a reliable asset for any team he lands to due to his shooting off movement, which will translate immediately. At 13, the Memphis Grizzlies select Moses Moody. Memphis gets a shooting wing who has been tearing it up for Arkansas this year. Like Kispert, Moody's shooting is his main appeal, and he will definitely be a worthwhile asset in what is turning out to be a really versatile and skilled Memphis squad. With the 14th pick, the Golden State Warriors select Franz Wagner. The Warriors add another wing piece here with the futures of Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre unclear. Wagner is a do-it-all wing who at 6'9" showcases a rare fluidity on both ends. He's a jack-of-all-trades type whose smart game should fit really well with Golden State. At 15, I have the Toronto Raptors selecting Jaden Springer, and really just in terms of identity and fit, Springer is a typical Raptors guard, someone who can defend at a high level while also being capable of going for 20 on any given night. He definitely needs to work on finishing and his overall touch, but for an amazing Raptors development staff, he should be a relatively easy project for them to work on. With the 16th pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Ziaire Williams. The Hornets will add wing depth here by taking Ziaire Williams. The Stanford wing has really impressed scouts due to his defensive upside and shooting off the dribble. He definitely needs to do a better job at getting to the basket though, as it looks like he's playing on an ice rink at times. At 17, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder selecting Ayo DOSUNMU with their third first-round pick in this year's draft. DOSUNMU screams third guard at the NBA level, as the first-team All-American has carried Illinois in all facets this season. And while he is a little bit on the older side for a first-round pick, he still belongs in the lottery conversation due to his new and improved shooting form and overall intensity on both ends. At 18, I have the New York Knicks taking Jared Butler from Baylor. The Knicks finally get a point guard to build with. Butler's slick handle and deft pick and roll creation make him worthy of the 18th pick here in my view. He's also really blossomed as a defender at Baylor this year as well. Butler does need to limit his home run attempts, as he does tend to turn the ball over with rather careless passes, but his overall steady play should bolster New York's backcourt immediately. With the 19th pick, I have Boston taking Josh Giddey. Boston needs depth like everywhere, and Giddey provides them with that. The National Basketball League sensation, that's in Australia by the way, is listed as a point guard, but at 6'8", it's feasible to play him off the ball as well. And listen, the Celtics just need bodies, and Giddey gives them a versatile option that can provide at multiple positions. At 20, the New York Knicks pick again, and I have them taking Greg Brown here from Texas. The Knicks should be enthused with his freakish athleticism, and I mean this when I say it. Greg Brown is probably the best high school dunker that I've ever seen, and that includes Zion Williamson. With an improving three-point shot and offensive feel, Brown is a prospect worth investing in if I'm the New York Knicks. With the 21st pick, the San Antonio Spurs will take Usman Garuba. Garuba is seen as one of the best interior defenders in the 2021 class, and the Spurs just seem like a great fit for him culturally. His offensive game needs refining, but Garuba should be able to contribute immediately on the defensive end. At 22, the Denver Nuggets will take BJ Boston from Kentucky. He's obviously had a turbulent season in Lexington as he struggled shooting and defensively, but I think Denver takes him here at 22 as they're a team that can afford to bet on Boston's upside given their prolific young core. At 23, I have the Houston Rockets taking Josh Christopher from Arizona State. He's another guy who I think will be targeted for upside in the first round. Christopher has definitely struggled at Arizona State with inconsistency and injuries, but he does have that raw offensive production gene that NBA teams tend to like a lot. At worst, I think Christopher projects as a reliable spark plug off the bench, and at best, he can definitely turn into something more. With the 24th overall pick, I have the Milwaukee Bucks taking Isaiah Jackson. He will add an element of athleticism to their front court that the Bucks currently lack outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's just a guy that will bring instant energy to the floor, and I can definitely see him contributing early in a way that Precious Achiuwa does for Miami right now. At 25, I have the Clippers taking Sharife Cooper. I probably have Cooper going lower than most mocks you'll see, but I think going to the Clippers at 25 might be the best fit possible for him. The Clippers desperately need a perimeter playmaker, which Cooper does marvelously, and they have the length and athletes to hide him defensively. Cooper needs to get a more fluid and consistent jumper, but he should find time right away as a bench playmaker. With the 26th pick, I have the Lakers taking Chris Duarte. Here, Los Angeles gets a quality 3-and-D hybrid and one who probably should have been the Pac-12 Player of the Year ahead of Evan Mobley. He should be a hot commodity among all contenders, and his shooting and defense will fit on any team looking to win right away. With 27, I have the Brooklyn Nets taking Day'Ron Sharpe from North Carolina. Listen, Brooklyn needs big men, and Sharpe is definitely the pick here. He has shown great activity as a rebounder, and his underrated passing vision will be of use to an extremely potent Nets offense. At 28, I have the Philadelphia 76ers selecting Daishen Nix. The third best prospect of the Ignite guys, Nix is a point guard who is built like a tight end, and he's been eviscerating G League defenses with his smart, heady passing vision. The 76ers are on the verge of breaking through to the finals, and we've seen how important it is to have multiple ball handlers. Ben Simmons can't do it all, and I would expect Knicks to provide instant value for a team looking for playmakers. At 29, the Phoenix Suns will be selecting Davion Mitchell. Chris Paul won't be there forever. Davion Mitchell's scoring and defense should help him get into the first round, and while Cam Payne has been solid in a backup role for Phoenix, Mitchell adds a defensive element that he just doesn't. Oh, and by the way, a Javon Carter-Davion Mitchell backcourt would absolutely wreak havoc on offenses around the league. And finally, with the 30th and last pick in the first round, the Utah Jazz will take David Johnson from Louisville. I really think Utah needs another playmaking guard behind Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell, and David Johnson is poised to do just that. He's a shifty 6'5" point guard who will add positional size and high-level passing to the table for a Utah team that has been much better than expected this year. And that concludes the first round of the 2021 NBA mock draft. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any disagreements, complaints, suggestions, leave them in the comment section below and I will respond to every single one of you. And I will see you soon for March Madness. Get excited. This is March. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good one. I'll see you next time.